We're live right now. What's going on, D-Bags? Hope you guys are doing well. We're back here again with another episode of the Detox Podcast, episode 317 to be exact. If you're new here and enjoy music, podcasts, comedy, or hooping videos, do consider subscribing. We've got a whole bunch of that stuff going on around here. When you do subscribe, leave a like or hang out with us in the live chat like you're going to do today. Helps us share conversations and laughs like this with more people. So do consider doing that. Now, before I can jump into everything we've got on the docket today, I got to talk to you guys a little bit about vacations. It's that time of the year. All right, it's actually kind of deathly hot right now in Milwaukee, well, in my apartment specifically, because the AC is not keeping up. But it's only nice like this, in quotes, nice, for a few weeks, it feels like, out of the year if you live in the Midwest, specifically Wisconsin. And there's no better place to enjoy some of that time than today's video sponsor, Alpine House 2. Alpine House 2 is a classic Swiss chalet duplex A-frame located up in Iron River, Michigan, directly across the street from the Ski Berlay Resort in Iron River, Michigan. Surrounded by forests, lakes, rivers, obviously Iron River makes Alpine House 2 the destination for fishing, hunting, hiking, kayaking, boating, all that good stuff, tubing. Anything you can do outside this time of year, it's perfect for that. It's beautiful up there. You see, it's beautiful inside, too, if you want to do that. Look, there's a deer. That's a real photo from the property at Alpine House 2, so don't disrespect. Other than that, you can actually reach out to Alpine House 2 on Instagram at ALPINEHAUS2. You can tell them that Darren, Rita, Detox sent you, or you can find them through Airbnb, and you can reach out and let them know that you found them through us as well. They're also linked down below. One last time, that's at Alpine House 2 on Instagram. You can stay up to date with bookings, renovations, and more. So shout out to them for sponsoring an episode of the show. Now, I mentioned as I was opening this that we're on episode 317. And I got to be honest, when I was starting this podcast, I did not know what I was doing. All right, I was trying to figure out what memory cards went with which cameras, what lenses needed to go, would be best for, this kind of stuff that we're doing, what kind of microphones and all that. Aside from sucking at the podcasting thing, I really didn't know how to do it. And if I would have known these guys a little bit sooner, today's second video sponsor, Impulse Cameras, things would have been a lot easier. Impulse Cameras, located in Oak Creek, Wisconsin's Drexel Square. They have everything you could possibly need for your creative projects, whether it's cameras, lights, microphones, gimbals, or even just a space to record your own podcast or record your own content. They don't just have a great selection of gear, though. They also have extremely hardworking, talented staff that will help you get the best gear that's suited to your needs at prices that fit your budget. And if you're still not convinced, they also offer super legit rental programs that allow you to get your hands on some gear before you buy it. And they also have access to a monthly membership that gets you access to extra discounts, as well as access to their Discord, too. So you can meet lots of other cool creatives and stuff like that. So check out at impulse.mke on Instagram or impulsecameras.com. You can see everything that they've got going on. And just because, you listen to this show, you can click the link down below and reach out to them and tell them that you were sent over by Darren, Rita, or Detox, and they will set you guys up. One last time, that's at impulse.mke or impulsecameras.com. Shout out to them for sponsoring this episode. Now, with all that good stuff out of the way, we had a little bit different show planned for you guys today. Some things kind of came up that we just not able to make it happen today, but we're going to hopefully push that on to the future, figure something out soon. But in the meantime, there's a lot going on. All right, Harry Styles has got his own toys, let's say. ESPN, the OCHO, is not just a thing from the movie Dodgeball. It's an actual TV channel. And Milwaukee has some cool stuff going on. So we're going to get into all that today and a little bit more because I like to ramble. I like to yap. I have been madly stressed out. All right, I've been very stressed out. I've been breaking out over and over again nonstop right here. And I mean, I'm not someone that has perfect skin, but goddamn, the stress is getting to me. Okay, it has not been good. Things have been rough, and I'm wondering because I've joked a lot on this show. I don't do drugs. I've never had any other kind of ailment that would necessitate going to rehab, but I just need to know, is there like a rehab for just stressed out people? I'm in therapy, but that's once a week. That's not enough. I wish I could just go somewhere in the mountains. You just lock me away for a week or a month, whatever, and then I come out healed, good to go, not stressed anymore. I'm zen. I'm a Jedi, whatever it is. We need to invent something like that if it doesn't exist. I'm sure somebody will send me a clip of Mike Posner or something and tell me that that's what I should be doing. I don't know, man. It's been hard. I've had to do a lot of hard things lately. It's been insane. I've noticed that doing hard things. I have to. What is so funny? What's going on? I
The XP chat is so weird now.
There's an XP. Okay, yeah, there's an XP chat now. It's we've got we back, so back. OMG Duncan's #1 fan. Whoa, yeah, it's like there's crowns now in our chats. That we have to be doing something right if we get that in the live chat. If you're listening on Spotify, you can go over to YouTube. You can watch the live chat replays on any of these episodes. It'll show you people that commented in real time when they commented. For some reason, we've got some crown thing going on now that used to not be there. Um, it doesn't change anything on my end other than you get a crown. So I guess that's kind of cool. That's fun. If you're new here and you want to leave a comment, see if you get a crown too, because that would be interesting to see. You get XP every time you comment. Oh wow! So you guys gotta level up. You gotta get on Duncan's level, okay? You gotta get on McKenna's level. We got people in the chat. Carrington's up there. Look at you guys are all leveling up. So everyone needs to spam the comments and get your levels up. But I was saying, like, doing hard things. It's something that if you're an anxious person, maybe you'll relate to this. I am not. I'm someone who I think a lot of people think is pretty disciplined. That people maybe think like gets a lot of stuff done. I have like probably at least once a week where I just sit there and I'm like, I don't want to do X, or I'm putting off this, and it really genuinely, it doesn't get any easier just because you're disciplined. But I will say, the building the habit of doing something hard gives you the confidence to do the next thing that's hard, if that makes sense. I gotta send this tough email, I gotta compile this stuff for somebody else, I gotta edit this thing for somebody. It like sometimes you're putting those things off, and I think the longer you put them off, the bigger you build them up, and the less difficult things you do. So if you like build a life that's just all comfort, that's nothing pushes you to get better or be stronger or try harder or think deeper, I do think that like if and when you do like shit really does hit the fan and you need to like do something, make a hard decision, have a hard conversation, it's going to be that much harder for you to do. And that's like the one thing that I have been trying to tell myself lately, because like I mentioned, I've been super stressed out. There's been a lot of stuff going on. It's been out of my control, very hard to deal with, but just trying to do the hard things that I can control and do them often. And it's weird. It's like the boulder. Once you get it moving, it is a tiny bit easier. It doesn't make the next thing easier, but it gives me the confidence to know, okay, I did that hard thing. I can do another hard thing. Yeah. So it is what it is. But yes. So we have some stuff in the thumbnail today. One being that ESPN the OCHO is a real thing. So I'm at work this weekend. I work at a bar part time. You guys know that if you're listening to the show. There. We a lot of times will play like YouTube TV, or we'll like play random sports on the TV and whatnot. And there wasn't any big games on, at least none that we got. So I'm just throw on ESPN. I see something called Omega Ball. Now I need you guys. I didn't realize this was ESPN the OCHO because I didn't know ESPN the OCHO was a real thing. I thought it was just from the movie Dodgeball, as like a this is funny because it was like I thought it was spoofing the fact that there was already too many ESPN channels. That it'd be hilarious if there was literally an eighth one that showed random shit. No, it's a real thing. They really do have ESPN the OCHO, and they show random stuff. Can we pull up Omega Ball real quick? Can you pull up a little screenshot of this? This is what was on the TV the other day. It essentially was 3 separate teams, soccer teams, playing soccer against each other in a circular field. It looked like, and I could be wrong, maybe we'll see here in a second. Yes, 4 on 4 on 4.
Can I move your head?
Yeah, you can move me. What the I'm not going to lie to you. I saw it and I was offended at first. And then I watched it and I was like, yo, actually, this looks fun as shit. Like, this looks like it would be really, really fun to play. I don't know how you, camera angle wise, it's pretty undynamic. Like, they can't do much because they just have to keep a top-down view the whole time because so there's not a lot of movement, so it is a little boring to watch after a while. I'm sure if you were there, it would be fun to watch maybe, but definitely looks fun to play. It basically looks like you're playing 3 games of World Cup if you ever play World Cup in a circle.
Do you play with a normal ball?
I think you play with a regular ball. I don't know what this other ball is, but yeah,
Oh, it's rugby.
yeah. Omega Ball though, that's a real thing. So I turn on ESPN the OCHO, right, and it's playing Omega Ball. I'm like, all right, I'm going back to work. Like, I'm just kind of working while that's on in the background. I like look up, and the thing that comes on after it is the National Mullet Championship. because that's a thing that's a sport on ESPN 8. Like, can you look up National Mullet Championship just so that people can see that I'm not making that up? That's a real thing on ESPN, the OCHO. And I wish you guys could see the production level. Like, it's actually hilarious. These are a lot of kids. There was like this. I was watching like the adults one, but yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know it was a real thing, and so I'm surprised. And I honestly, I'm offended that ESPN the Ocho doesn't have a higher budget, especially now with today's day and age with social media. I think that they need to get on their marketing because a lot of this stuff is so random that I think it would crush. I was like a month or two back. I turned on the same thing. It must have been the Ocho. I don't know. I thought it was just ESPN. It was the National Pillow Fighting Championships. And you know how like boxers have like their shorts are advertised, like they have advertisements on their shorts to like help, like they get extra money that way, or UFC fighters I think sometimes do that. Maybe the UFC doesn't do it. I don't know. Somebody does. You like there's ads everywhere on a fight, right? They'll come out with a different shirt on so that they can get paid for that. Like their walkout shirt, you can sponsor their shorts and stuff like that. These guys had sponsors on their pillowcases, and they were smoking each other, and it was crazy. I don't like. There's so many random sports. There was this other thing that we'll pull up the pillow fight thing first just so people can, PFC is a real thing. Look at it. Let's let them see that. It's insane to me. Click like some of these images so they can see it like up close. People are getting smoked in the face. I will say I didn't see any knockouts. I don't know if you get knocked out by a pillow. I think that would be pretty sad to go out that way. But like these dudes were really doing it. And my question is, and I don't know enough, I have not looked into it, so maybe we can look into it together here in a second. What is, like, how do you find out that this is what you want to do? And that's what I was wondering when I was watching ESPN the Ocho, because after it changed from this and the other stuff, it went to some like all sports challenge where it was like random people that, I'm not going to say they didn't look athletic, like they all looked like healthy, normal people. They're like they're like chipping like golf on like a 15 or 20 foot hole, like a real short hole. They would hit like 5 golf balls. Then they would run and have to go kick 5 soccer ball passes at this thing. And then they would have to run again and do some other sport. And then it was like throw a football through this and catch how many baseballs as fast as you can. And I was like, how do you find out that this is what you want to do though? And maybe it's not like their main thing, but I'm just like, who's competing in these? Who is sponsoring these? What are they for? And somehow they make money. I mean, look at it. It's on ESPN the Ocho. Dr. Pepper is on it. Can you go back to the the web, like the all instead of images, so we can like read up on it a little bit, because I'm interested. Like, what is it? Like, is there some reason? Because it said like some of these guys. I apologize to all of our audio users because they just died probably.
I just died.
So I apologize for that. Let's turn that off. We don't need a video. Just go to like Wikipedia. Like, what is the world's first professional pillow fighting league featuring professional fighters engaging in intense, fast-paced, and all ages friendly combat, unrivaled by any other professional sports entertainment. So I believe they're all like ex-fighters or current like MMA or boxer like fighters. Can we go to Wikipedia? Can we look that up in Wikipedia real quick? I feel like we got to give the people a little bit of value, like if we're going to talk about it. Yeah, just like, because it'll explain like what it actually is. Yeah, just hit wiki. I think that would be, because the page is just going to be promoting it. Like, what is the... This is really the pillow, what a pillow fight is. We know. Okay, the concept for pillow fight champion organized during COVID-19 pandemic. Created the concept, presented to Steve, who's hesitant. Yeah, so does it say that they're to create combat sport that was more advertiser friendly? I feel like, do you think people really pull their ads off UFC and boxing because it's blood and stuff? There's no way. That's like this. That's all that sells. People want that. But I mean, good for them. I mean, I guess, right, you can bring your kids to this and not feel bad. People are getting just smacked with pillows and stuff. It's not that terrible. Wow, okay, that's why it was made. So yeah, it is. It looks like, did they say anything? I can't read all of it because it's kind of far.
Use regular down feather pillows.
Nice. Use
3.5 pounds.
3.5 pound pillows. Are the fighters ex-MMA fighters, or are they current UFC fighters? Oh, after prevailing over UFC well, emerged as the final men's division. Yeah. Okay, so they are UFC fighters and stuff. It's like a probably definitely related. Nice. Well, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's on the Ocho. This other thing I saw on the Ocho was it was a 4-team, it was co-ed, 2-on-2-on-2-on-2, 4 separate teams playing beach volleyball in like a really tiny tight net, and it got me thinking about. It reminded me of like Foursquare. If you've ever played Foursquare, it brought back like some childhood memories for me, like unlocked a core memory. You guys need to see if you haven't played Foursquare. Yeah, can you hit? This is CrossNet. Because that's what it's like. It was literally 4 people, 4 teams playing against each other, and I'm like, I don't understand. Like, again, it's like the people were not trying to be a jerk. It's not like these were like super athletes or anything. And I think we're getting to a place right now where I don't think it's a bad thing that we have all these random sports, but like you look at these sports, they have to go on ESPN The Ocho or on someone's YouTube channel because there isn't enough there. You know what I mean? Like, if you play real volleyball, there's like a lot of different strategies. There's different kinds of moves. There's like fakes. There's the other things. And this is kind of just like, it's so small. It's so fast paced. It's just like fun for like you and the homies to play at the beach. You know, it's the same thing with like pickleball. You know, pickleball, people think they're fucking really good at pickleball, and then somebody that played like actual tennis shows up to the pickleball court and murders them. It's a different thing. You know, it's way harder. It's got more depth to the game. It's the same thing with spike ball, these other things. Like, they're fun, they're cool. I'm glad people are able to acquire sponsorships and do whatever. But I don't know. But so this thing reminded me of regular grade school Foursquare. If you guys ever did this in grade school, please pull up pictures, because this is yeah, Foursquare on the pavement. Because this was like, this is the shit. And my opinion is that Foursquare is like a gateway to bullying. Because I don't know if this was like this for you guys. In my school, when we played Foursquare, sometimes there would be like a second square. I mean, there was always like multiple squares, but everyone just went to the one. We all wanted to play. And it was like a social hierarchy. It was a social hierarchy, right? And so the one with the little slash in the corner, that was the one spot. That was A. That was A, and it was B, C, and then D was like whoever just came in. There would be a line wrapped around this square, basically the whole class waiting to get in, and it would be like the 3 most popular kids would be A, B, and C. And usually it would be like A and B would be like the 2 top dogs of the class. And when you're in A, how Foursquare works is, I'm sure there's maybe a real way to play that isn't like this, but like how Foursquare worked at my school was whoever was in A or in 1, they were in the first square, they got to make the rules. So they got to decide like no cherry bombs, which that's like you catch the ball and you can like slam it on somebody. And basically how the game works is like you hit the ball, you bounce it into someone else's square, and it can't bounce again or bounce out, then they lose, right? Or if I tried to bounce it in your square but I bounced it out of bounds, then I would lose, because it's like kind of like almost table tennis in that way, or tennis, right? Like if I hit it out of bounds, it would be out of bounds. But so you're in A, you could like make different rules. So instead of playing like straight up Foursquare, which is like everything just has to be a tap, you could be like, oh, cherry bombs are allowed. People would make up rules like if your name starts with a D, you're out. Like, it would be like it would be the dumbest shit. They would give each other a signal. If like the 3 friends were like A, B, and C, and you just got in, D, you waited fucking 20 minutes in line, and they don't want you in to play, you'd get in, you'd step into that D, that final square, and they would all give each other this like signal, and they would call something where like everyone would have to run to the back corner, and the last person who gets it, like a nose goes, basically, is out. And you would just be out, and then you have to go back to the end of the line and wait another 25 minutes, 30 minutes. Recess is over. You get back in, someone cherry bombs you, and you're out again, and you just got to go back to math. It's crazy. I don't know if anybody else had this experience. And don't get me wrong, I was one of the more athletic kids, so therefore in grade school I was one of the cooler people, I guess you could say. But I was never cool enough to be in A and B. Very rarely was I able to get A and B. A lot of times I was in C, where I was just trying to be political enough, try to get in good with the A and B people to be like, yo, let's punish this person in D. Don't remember me. But then every once in a while you get somebody that would snake you in C block. I remember it would be the biggest deal in the world because the teachers started getting involved, where they were noticing that people were cheating. People were if you guys are Fortnite players or Twitch people like that, right? Teaming, it's called, where people that aren't supposed to be playing on a team together, you're playing an all individual thing, they start teaming up. That's cheating, right? So teachers started catching wind that some of these popular kids were kind of bullying a little bit. And so they would like try to break it up. And then it would be like a big guessing game to who was going to be the person to actually break that up. Every once in a while, the person that was in B square would overthrow the person in A, and it was like it would shake the whole class up. This is probably stupid as shit, and if you don't know or never played Foursquare, you're probably like, this guy is a weirdo. But I'm telling you, it's a real thing. It really happens, and I know lots of people that that probably have some trauma from that, man. Probably have some trauma. Lowercase t trauma. It's not that big of a deal, but it was at the time. It felt like the whole world, man. Foursquare was legit. That's what, if we're gonna start giving all these stupid sports airtime on ESPN the Ocho, let's bring back Foursquare, and let's see some people like where you can actually freestyle the rules and shit like that. That would get nasty, man. People would get nasty. But yeah, that's all I gotta say on the Foursquare stuff. Yeah, ESPN the Ocho is nuts. Something we were talking about before we went live. What do we got here? And then if you ended in A square at the end of recess, you got to start at the next one. Yeah, that was true. That's true. That's a real fact, actually. Another thing that we were talking about before we went live was Harry Styles, dude. This guy, he is undefeated. He is what Sydney Sweeney wishes she could be when it comes to marketing, right? I'm just kidding. I'm sure she probably is selling plenty of products too. But so Harry Styles just launched some sex toys, and then they sold out in 3 minutes apparently, and people are really talking about it online. I think it's interesting. I would love us to pull up the picture of his toys. Yeah, let's check it out. I want to see a picture of it. It's Harry Styles toys here. Let's see. He's got an artsy website. Good for him. Can we get to... I'm not watching this. We're not giving him free promo. No, we're going to get like copyright claim. Okay, let's click his thing. He's got like a... Do you guys remember pull up in a separate tab real quick? We don't need 10% off. Can you pull up in a separate tab? Get a separate tab going. Pull up the PlayStation Move. Or PlayStation... Yeah, I think it was a PlayStation Move. You can't tell me it's not the same thing. That's literally... Click the blue one. Click the blue one on the other thing on the left so people can see it bigger. Look at that. That's Harry Styles' vibrator. It's the same picture, bro. Okay, so he dropped a PlayStation Move, but he switched the color palette, and it sold out in 3 minutes. And people are like, what do you think about it, Darren? And I'll tell you what I think about it. I think that it's just as weird or close to as weird as when Sydney Sweeney does a bathwater thing with Dr. Squatch or whatever. I think I'm not saying it's the same thing, but are we going to sit here and pretend that this PlayStation Move stick is the best vibrator in the world? No, you bought it because you're attracted to Harry Styles, right? That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but I do think it's a little silly when people then go, oh, I'm mad at this person because they're buying this thing because they're attracted to that person. No, this Harry Styles does not. It's the same reason. Like he's got what, nail polish too, and he's got all these other things. Like you're buying it because you like Harry, and you can't. Maybe you really like his music. I don't know any other musicians any of you that bought this fucking vibrator, where you're buying a vibrator from them. Let's go down the list of the charts. Anybody buying an Ed Sheeran vibrator? No? No one wants to buy an Ed Sheeran vibrator? What about, let's see here. I'm trying to think who else. What about a Benny Blanco vibrator? Anyone want the Benny Blanco vibrator? The Lil Dicky one? No? So I think it's like a little silly. It's really good for him. I think it's cool. I think it's a dope move. It's the same thing I say when people, when it comes out that like some new, OnlyFans model sells their bathwater. Like I think that's awesome, dude. Make your money, do your thing. But I just think it tells me that we are all the same. We are all the same, men, women, We're all some horny people. You cannot tell me that you're not going to be subconsciously, at the bare minimum, subconsciously being reminded of Harry Styles' existence every time you go to bang yourself. Come on. That's what I think about that. Good for him though. I think get the bag. Also, I did spell in the title of this video Harry Styles toys wrong, I guess, for American English, but apparently it's correct for British English. So we're going to keep it that way because him and his Harry stick are both British. So we're going to leave that there. Otherwise, in other news, I've been seeing, I don't know if everybody else has been getting this, my For You page, which I'm super happy about actually, has been super Milwaukee coded. Like super Milwaukee coded lately. Like it's been all Milwaukee creators, like small creators too. I mean, like people that have like, I'm a small creator and sometimes they'll have less followers than me on TikTok. And I'm like, dude, this is dope. And they're getting tons of views. They're getting pushed and people are like talking to each other. I'm seeing people like make connections and stuff like that. And I don't know, maybe I have just like niched myself down and I'm like getting, sucked into my own little bubble here. But I love seeing that like Milwaukee is getting a little bit of love, even if some of it is a little crazy. I've been seeing a little negative stuff with like some of the kind of people, some of the things people are saying about like the youth and stuff like that, which I think is unfortunate and I don't think fully true. But for the most part, man, there's like some song from Big Frank, 414 Big Frank, that's like kind of going crazy on TikTok. So that's awesome. I'm seeing a bunch of different creators, whether it's in the food space, like review stuff, or people that just like do like late night activity stuff. There's some girl that like just is like just staying here for a few months from like the UK, and she's come on my page like 2 or 3 times, and she's like going to all these different Milwaukee places, and like that stuff's getting pushed big time. And I don't know, man, it's cool to see. And I'm just gonna put this out there because this podcast, I'm not gonna lie to you, we're not trying to be. I don't really ever want to be like a Milwaukee podcast, if that makes sense, like a only Milwaukee podcast. But we have had, and the history goes to show, you can scroll this page. We've had tons of Milwaukee creatives on, tons of Milwaukee just people on, even that aren't creatives. And I'm really proud of that. And I want to throw it out there for any other creators or people trying to do something. If you want to use this as a way to launch off and do other things, we've had some outside of Milwaukee reach, and I think it's really cool that I think people are starting to kind of. It seems like there's like a little bubbling up of like different spots in Milwaukee, different people doing different things that are starting to maybe kind of branch out and like show Milwaukee in a good way that will bring people to Milwaukee in a way, or put Milwaukee on the map, I should say. I don't know if I made any sense there, but I'm rocking with Milwaukee. I'm rocking with seeing us being around. And on my For You page, I really like it. I'm getting put onto lots of new restaurants and stuff, which is cool. Other than that, that is the show, guys. That is all I've got for episode 317. I don't want to hold you guys up longer than I need to. I do want to say thank you for listening. I want to say thank you for viewing or watching over on Spotify. I want to say a quick shout out to our patrons. They should be up on the screen right now. If you guys are interested in getting extra videos as well as a series where I break down how I mix, master, write, record every single one of my songs, go to patreon.com/Darren Rita, and you can help support the channel for as little as $1. Also want to say a quick shout out to Alpine House 2 and Impulse Cameras. So Alpine House 2 and then Impulse Cameras, both of them for sponsoring another episode of the show. And with that stuff being said, this has been the 317th episode of the podcast. I will see you guys next week. Peace.